Hey everyone, welcome back to the Brickhaven project. In today's video, we're going to be diving into some pretty exciting updates, not only dealing with the layout, but also the studio in general. So let's get into it. Starting off with the studio changes, as I'm sure you can probably already tell, we actually painted all of the walls down here around the Lego City layout this blue-gray color, and that was mainly so we could finally replace the old cloud backdrop curtains because I really didn't think that they were that professional anymore, and so I figured it was time to create a nice brand new slate. And so we got the walls freshly painted, and on top of that we actually got new LED lights installed in the ceiling. You can kind of see one at the top of your screen there. And that is hopefully going to allow us to shoot way better video because the layout will be much brighter, and it actually helped by removing the curtains because now we just have the exposed wall, which should also help with filming as well. Now, speaking of filming, I've also made some upgrades on that front. I am now filming on a DJI Pocket Osmo 3, and I'm using a DJI mic to go alongside of that. So definitely let me know down below, how do the visuals look? How does the audio sound? I'm still kind of playing around with all the settings, so I'm hoping that this video at least looks and sounds a little better than all the videos in the past where I was just filming on my phone. But definitely some major studio changes happening, and I think they are definitely making the layout look so much better. Now, jumping into the changes that I've made on the Lego City itself, obviously the elephant in the room is the mountain. Now, in my last Lego City update, I showed you guys that I had just got in 2,000 2x3 green bricks, and I have been hard at work to get these bricks fully constructed into the mountain that you see here. Now, the mountain is by no means complete. I used up all 2,000 bricks that I had, and I still want to make the mountain taller, so I'm actually planning on buying about another 750 bricks because I'm hoping to make the right side of the mountain taller than the left side, so that way the mountain isn't completely flat all the way across as it is right now. And then once I get that base structure of the mountain completely finished, I'll go in and start adding even more detail than what is on there currently. You can see I have started populating the mountain just slightly with some of our pine trees, as well as I did start a small section above the tunnel, and that was mainly just so I could test what it would look like with some grass pieces and some bushes. But nothing too crazy when it comes to the landscaping just yet. But don't worry, as soon as I can get those extra 2x3 green bricks and we can get the frame of the mountain finished, I'll definitely jump in and fully populate the mountain with lots and lots of landscaping. Taking a closer look at the tunnels here, I was actually very happy with how they came out. So this is the tunnel on the left side of the layout. Now, it is a little square at the moment, but I'm hoping to sort of round out all the edges once I get some of that landscaping put in. And I mainly constructed the tunnels with lots of the light bluish gray 1x2 masonry bricks, as well as a couple arches. It's really not anything too crazy, but I am very happy with how the overall design turned out. Moving our attention towards the tunnel on the right side, you can see I basically used the same exact design, just replicated for this tunnel. The only main difference is that this tunnel is on a curve, which made it very hard to work into the mountain. You can see it's not quite perfect, but I'm hoping that when I do add all that vegetation to the mountain itself, that we'll sort of be able to cover up all those little gaps in between the brick of the mountain as well as the brick of the tunnel. Now, I did not use the masonry bricks too far into the tunnel because I didn't want to waste them, to be honest, but My plan for the mountain itself is actually to plate off the top of it. You can see if we move to the left side, I already started to kind of prototype what plating off the top of the mountain is going to look like. And I do plan on doing that all the way across once I get those extra bricks to make this side a little bit taller. And that will hopefully make the inside of the mountain just a little bit darker. So that way, when you're looking through the tunnels, you won't just be able to see into the backside so easily. Now, hopefully, I can eventually add a bit of like a black curtain to the backside of the mountain. I think that would really help, just so that way we eliminate all of the light from getting to the inside. But let's go ahead and take a look at the structure on the backside of the mountain. Taking a look at the inside of the mountain, you can see I actually didn't use that much support. I used a good bit of filler brick as well as some of these black lattice supports to get us up to that height, but I honestly didn't really add too much, and that's mainly because I didn't want to waste too much brick trying to support this mountain. And I am probably going to add more in the future, especially as I start plating off the top of the mountain. We're definitely going to need some more support once we get up to that final height. But this is pretty much how I designed the mountain in my head, at least. I wanted to use as little support as possible just to try to save on brick. But I will say the mountain is very sturdy despite there not being too much support. I've also made some pretty significant progress up here by our crossover switch, mainly when it comes to the landscaping and detail department. You can see we actually have a pretty heavily detailed forest up here in the front. And then we also started to work on the river section. We have a good portion of it actually tiled, and the landscaping has been started, not fully finished. And then as I go all the way along here, you can see we have the base of the shoreline constructed all the way to the edge of the table. You can see we have a canoer already preparing to be in the water there. But we definitely have a lot more detail to add because I will add a lot more smaller plate to sort of flush out all of these sharp edges, as well as softening the space with lots of landscaping and then eventually getting all that water tile laid. But it is nice to get some water back into the main Lego City layout. Obviously, there is plenty of water over in New Bricksburg, but it's nice to see, you know, a little bit more of a river rather than like an ocean over on that layout. And then the last bit of progress I made was I actually made the prototype for our third house here in the residential area. Now this one was made almost completely out of tan masonry bricks. Those are the 1x4 masonry bricks. And then I used the white window frames as well as some black shutters. Now, you can see, obviously, the house is still definitely unfinished. I need to add a roof to both the house and the garage, but I'm actually, unfortunately, out of black plate at the moment, so I can't finish this house right now, but I at least wanted to get the structure of it designed, and then we'll be adding the roof and the mills plate for the house as well very shortly. And that pretty much wraps up all the progress I've made here in the Lego City since the last update. I am really happy to see all the details starting to form here at the front of the layout, up by the forest, and our brand new river section. The mountain has been such a fun project to work on. It's been a bit tedious at times, especially having to lay all 2,000 of those 2x3 green bricks, but it is definitely coming along, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when we get the rest of that brick in and we're able to start adding all of the landscaping details, that being the grass pieces, the bushes, and the trees. And I think all that combined is really going to help make the mountain come alive. And even up here in the residential area, just seeing that third house is really starting to give a really good feel for what the residential area could look like now that we're working at this new level and new scale after getting rid of the Simpsons house. Now, I do have plans to add a fourth house. I'm not sure if it's exactly going to fit next to that tan one. It's getting a little tight, especially because we have the train line pretty close there. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. And then definitely let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think I should add in between the houses and the mountain. We have quite a bit of space back there. I think it's approximately a gray base plate of depth between the houses and the mountain. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do there because I definitely don't want that all to be backyard space. But I've got a couple ideas in my head, so we're just going to have to see what ends up working for that. But that pretty much wraps up everything I had to share with you. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Definitely comment down below what you guys think. And with all that being said, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on the Brickhaven project.